All right, welcome. We're back for another Husky Huddle. We're talking preseason camp here. We had a podcast before the podcast, before talking a lot of different things about UConn and how to continue to grow the university and the alumni there and get more people involved. But we're in football season officially.
It's
We're
crazy.
we're in camp officially, and there's a lot of things going on at this point. You know, we're trying to figure out. Getting ready for our first game, which is what, Maryland, or who are we playing first?
Yeah, Maryland and then Merrimack is the home opener.
Yeah, so that I mean we start right away with the ability to
That week 0, which I think is ridiculous, by the way.
that we're playing them, or
No, that they call it week 0.
should it be week one?
Yeah, they should just call it week 1.
It's funny
Call it
because high school does the same thing. They call it week zero. I'm like, why is
week
it?
0.
I mean, I don't know. I never understood it. Yeah, why don't you just make that week one? But you know what it is? Because then all of a sudden they'll figure out a way to go a week earlier and they'll make that week zero.
they probably will. It'll be week -10 before we know it.
Now I think UConn had their first scrimmage, right? A day ago.
Yeah,
And the word was that the defensive line looked very good.
yeah. They have the new defensive coordinator. Well, they have two coordinators on
Right.
offense and defense. The guy from Mississippi State, Matt Brock, um, who I looked at some of their stuff, and he does an excellent job. And I'm gonna be a little biased because I'm an offensive lineman, and it does take the offense just a little bit longer to come together than it does the defense. So I'm not gonna anoint them just yet.
I
Uh,
would say that if the defense it didn't dominate in the first scrimmage, you probably have a problem with your
yeah,
defense.
you'd be yes, you'd be concerned. You'd be concerned. But the other thing that is really striking to me is 27 new transfers and 22 freshmen. That is, it's like Deion Sanders with like half the team. Like they're making so many changes. Um, 5 starters return on offense, which is good because they have both tackles returning, and the team's 2 top pass rushers are returning. And then obviously on offense, we got our guy Cam. Cam Edwards is returning, and wide out Brett Buckman is back after finishing second on the team with 46 catches. So I mean, there's a lot to look forward to, a lot to look forward to, a lot to unpack here. Depending on as you know, each coordinator has their own system, and we've talked about this. Whether it's an ego thing,
Mm.
if they are going to run their stuff regardless of who they have talent wise. This is my offense. I'm running my offense. God be damned. This is it. This is my defense. I'm running my defense. I don't care who plays where. As
Right.
opposed to adapting to the talent that you have. So hopefully our coaches put our players in the best position to succeed because we're going to need that. We're going to 100% need that. So that is what I'm going to be anxious to see. But as you said, the defense should be ahead because they do return 7 starters overall from last fall, including the 2 senior safeties, Malik Dixon Williams and Ronte Jones. They've done very well the last 2 seasons. And senior linebacker, I'll just say Tua. Tua. I can't. I'm not good with the Samoan names. I apologize.
Well,
Not
I
like
think
you are.
that's a big part. They have to have an impact on the defense. The offensive defensive line is the key for them having a certain
Yes,
level of success. Skill wise, that
100%.
that's the thing that I wonder, without knowing the ins and outs, but like, is it a situation where they had enough, they moved the ball well enough, on offense, uh, that it was a concern or not with the offensive line, meaning with the defensive line dominating. My issue always is the O line a problem per se, and hopefully that's not the case, or is it the D line just that far ahead, which may be the case. But I think the interesting part is that the transfer number, 27 transfers. You would hope that and think that a lot of those guys could possibly be impact players, because if they're transferring in,
Yeah,
that's what brought those guys in, and they had 22 high school kids, so you're talking 49 new players on their
huge. That's a huge class. Yeah.
huge number. And I wonder also because a year ago, or maybe not a year ago, maybe it was about 8 months ago. I don't know if you're familiar with the name D'Amelio, the daughter.
I apologize. I am not.
The daughter, he's a UConn alum. The daughter is uh, the biggest TikTok star in
Oh,
the world.
the track person.
No, 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 no,
No.
no. He's not. I don't think he played sports.
Oh,
Uh,
I thought the
his
daughter you were
daughter
talking
is
about.
Charlie D'Amelio, which is like she's like a major, like meaning
Yeah.
like when I mean TikTok. I don't think she went to UConn, but the father did. And
Okay, I
and
got you.
he pledged, I think 8 months ago, like a matching on NIL, of guys. So I wonder if there was any of that money, if they end up raising some of that money, and some of that was used for transfers or not, without knowing
Let's
in depth.
let's hope so. Let's hope so because they also they have a new quarterback coach in Brad Robbins. So I mean, they really revamped their staff, which is going to be expected because I don't think at this point people are going to coaches are going to come to UConn long term. It's going to be more of a stepping stone. So they have Gordon Samus taking over the offensive coordinator duties and the quarterback coach, Brad Robbins, as well. So it's going to be interesting to see the changes made for what they're going to be doing. And I think you and I have talked about it because the, in my opinion, the secret to success or the way to have success for UConn when they did in the the mid to late 2000s and after that was you have an outdoor stadium, you have the wind, and you play on grass. And teams don't like that. So Randy Edsall, his philosophy was always we're going to play field position, we're going to run the ball, and we're going to play tough defense.
Right.
And that's and then we're going to win games in the fourth quarter. That
I
was his philosophy, and it worked when they had the personnel.
Interesting, and I think that they are trying to revamp not just the coaching staff but their personnel department.
Yeah,
So they brought in Eddie Hernan to be the GM. Who was
yeah.
with
Can you explain to me that because I am I am slightly confused on this GM position that we now have in college football. What is considered the general manager? Because I know analysts and all that stuff, but a GM Is that like, because there's no technically a front office in college football, correct? Is it considered a support staff position? Um,
Well, the bigger schools are using it as like a front office, really, to handle
so they do. Okay.
recruiting and transfers and start to be a front line for that. I don't
Okay.
I don't know how UConn is in particular using it. But this guy was a director of player personnel at a couple places before.
Okay.
He was briefly in the NFL for a few years as a very, very, very lower level scouting person.
Right.
So I think that kind of accelerated his career because as this became a bigger thing that, you could take a guy like that that had some NFL scouting experience and move him into a role like this. I don't. It looks like he's probably a young guy. I mean, 2010 2014, 2012 graduated from Rutgers. So what are
Right.
we talking? He's probably in his mid 30s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so he's a GM, and then they build out their player personnel staff and recruiting staff around it to kind of
Correct.
start to do more things, which which I think that they're trying to build out. So it looks like when you go through their staff, that's been built out a lot more than it was 6 months ago. And then I think you know, they're really. I'm looking at their staff now, like some of the guys they have. Obviously, I think Kashif Moore was a receiver for UConn, right?
I love Kashif Moore. Yeah,
Yeah.
he came.
Yep.
I coached against him when he was at Albany. He's an excellent
Okay.
coach.
Yep. So trying to bring back some of those guys. I think that's probably a good thing. I think that it's going to be a hard. Well, I wonder. I'm seeing a name that's interesting. I wonder. I wonder if this person is related to one of the guys that I played with at UConn. I wouldn't know, but I'm going to find out. Um, they have a GA TJ Harkins there, who
Oh, okay.
I wonder if he's at you. I don't know if he's related to him at all, but the name Harkins was a
Yeah,
linebacker for UConn. So I don't know if that's his son
it's just
or a relative son, but I think that UConn it really is trying to figure out how to handle all that in a odd situation. Being independent, um, but that also allows them to play some of the games that they have this year. And I think that the whole key. So they
they
got
have a
rid
good schedule. Yeah,
yeah,
at
they got
least.
rid of Nick Charlton, right, at OC, and and
Correct.
and making that move. What was the overall reason? Just not enough production? Is that what it was? Or
Their production was very, very poor last year offensively. Yes.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
thought that I thought that he was a little bit of a reach higher myself at the time.
It was. I agree.
Yeah,
But I don't think, and I don't know for sure, but I don't think Coach Mora had a ton of time to put that first staff together.
got it.
So
Okay,
I think he had to, you know, plug some holes where he had to. But let me ask you this, because it just continues to blow my mind. When you have a coaching staff and there's 20 guys as your coaches,
right.
that's got to be challenging to work together. Like, you have a wide receivers coach, but you also have a pass game coordinator. You have a run game coordinator. You have an offensive coordinator. It seems like uh, so much. I mean, there's an offensive GA who's with the wide receivers. So you literally have three guys with the wide receivers, and the offensive coordinators an O line guy, and they also have an assistant offensive line coach and an offensive grad assistant who's an offensive line coach. You got three guys with the O line. So to me, it just seems I don't know how you would manage that having, a run game coordinator, 3 offensive line coaches, um, an offensive coordinator, and, in a team meeting, in a coaches meeting, you're sitting at a table and you got 30 guys looking at you. Like, that's got to be so hard to organize when the old rule used to be like 10. You could have 10
Yeah.
coaches.
And now
And
I think you can have as many as you want, right?
now
Or
you can have as many as you want. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that definitely requires the head coach to be as much as a motivator on the field. He also has to be a manager of
Yeah.
people in a different way, and be a motivator of coaches too, to get them to do everything they need to do, because now your staff is a corporation, right? So
Well, and you got the analysts as
yeah,
well. So their role, the analysts, I don't believe were allowed to go on the field. I think they changed that rule,
they changed it.
but
They can now. Yeah,
they can now. So you have so many people
yeah.
that are, I mean, I used to stand in the back of the huddle and watch. And if you're going to do that now, I don't. There's going to be a line of coaches there standing there trying to watch offense and defense. It's just going to be. It just seems like it's a lot to manage, and you
Yeah.
really, really have to be organized, and everyone has to stick to their role, because there were always certain guys that would go outside of their role, or think that they could do something better, or they should be doing this or that. And if they can manage to keep everyone in their role, they have a good, young, motivated coaching staff. They have a schedule that legitimately they could win 8 games, and it's very, very optimistic. And for the first, for the first time, it seems really optimistic, the success that is possible.
It is the optimism because we know that the team is better. Like from spring ball, did we know the team was much better, or the transfers, or is it just general beginning of the season optimism?
No,
That's
I think the transfers will play a huge part. I think Cam Edwards is a guy. He's got that it factor. He's a difference maker. I think their strength will be on defense. I think they had a tough defense last year. They just they didn't always score enough points. I think defensively they are physical. They play downhill. They can run sideline to sideline. I don't know for sure how much pressure they're going to bring, if they're going to be, blitzing a lot, or if they're going to be sitting back. With the schedule they have, I don't think they're in a place where they have to blitz a ton. I think they can play their base stuff and have success against the majority of the teams they're facing. But I think the optimism will come from the transfers. You have 22 freshmen, which is a huge class.
mm,
And then you have a schedule that is very advantageous to you're playing teams you can compete against. You're not playing Clemson. You're not playing Tennessee. You're not playing Michigan. You're playing Syracuse. You should be able to compete against Syracuse. You're playing Buffalo. You should be able to compete against Buffalo. You're playing against Merrimack. You're going to roll Merrimack, hopefully. So that's kind of where I look at things and get excited, because it's not as before. Duke will be tough. Duke's always good. But Florida Atlantic, Buffalo, Temple, I even think Wake, they beat Rice last year. And then Georgia State, UAB,
UMass.
Syracuse, and UMass. I just think that it should be there should be a lot of optimism going in with the schedule they have. If they have the camp that they need to, they have enough returners, if the transfers can fill in those spots, those certain roles, I think that they should definitely have a winning season, and I think they definitely have a chance to win eight games plus. I will
Yeah,
go on record saying that.
yeah. I mean, look, the running back should be a special player. So, they're going to have a good run game. They have some good. They should have some good players, like you said, on defense. Quarterback question, I think that'll be solved shortly, hopefully. I think that's their number one thing is do they solve quarterback?
It's
Um,
been their number one thing since we lost Dan Orlovsky.
yes,
I mean, I loved Tyler Lorenzen when he came in and played, and he led them to the International Bowl. I thought he did a great job. He was a physical runner. I liked Zach Frazier. He was a gunslinger. He led them to the Fiesta Bowl. And ever since then, it's just kind of been, they haven't found anyone viable long term.
they have a giant freshman at quarterback in Cole
Yep.
Well. He's 6'6", and he trains with Seneca Wallace. So,
Well, that's good.
yep. So, he's looked good in some of the preseason stuff, where he's working and throwing. But it's I don't know, if he's going to be ready yet. That's why obviously they have the guy from last year. They also have the transfer
Yep.
that's coming in from I think it was Wisconsin, right? So
Yep.
they're
Yep.
they're all they're all
Nick Nick Evers. Yep.
Nick Evers. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see who gets a job. I thought it was interesting that on the Hartford Current when they showed the scrimmage, the picture of the person they had on the article was Cole Welliver, which is a true freshman at
A true
6'7".
friend. Well, you know, I have no problem with them playing a true freshman at this point, especially coming from Texas.
And he's a
Um,
four-star recruit.
yeah, which they rarely get. The question is going to be offensively, what are they running? Are they in the gun? Are they trying to run the zone read? Are they trying to run a lot of spread concepts? Or are they under center? Are they running power? Are they running ISO? Are they running counter? That's where I think will make the difference. The scheme offensively, because if you do have a freshman quarterback coach, as you know, you can't put everything on his shoulders. You can't
Right.
put a million reads on his shoulders. And that's what used to drive me nuts as a coach. We couldn't just call it and haul it. Every play, the quarterback had to either check, read, he had to do something. He couldn't just hand it off. He had to, there was always something built into it. Every zone read, he had to read the end and then either pull it and try to throw the bubble off of it or keep it. And it's like it's too much. It's too much. They got to make those decisions, split second decisions. Let's give them a few plays that are easy. Let them hand it off. Just let them hand it off and give them a break. You can't put everything on their shoulders, especially a young kid like that.
Yeah, I agree. And look, it'll be the first time they've had a quarterback this big since Dan Orlovsky starting for them.
Under
If he
Dan.
does, I'm sure they're going to bring him along slow.
Well, if
But
he's special, yeah.
but I could tell you this, um, they brought the transfer in. They're obviously if he came there, he probably thought he was going to play. Cole Welliver's listed at 6'7", 6'7", 220.
That's fantastic. I just hope he can move. As long as he's not a statue back there, because they have two tackles. One
And
of
I
them
think Nick
six
Evers
seven.
can move. I think he's a guy that can move too. So
Then that's great. If he's athletic and he can move, fantastic. The tackles are solid on the edge. I don't know how they are the interior, the center guard, the center and two guards. But if he's able to step up in the pocket, if he's able to, especially, as a freshman, full field reads are gone these days.
Right.
They
Yeah.
teach
Absolutely.
these kids it's half field reads. He's going
Yep.
to have to be in a position where 1, 2, run. And that's what they got to get him used to. You give him 2 reads, 1's not there, 2's not there. Don't mess around. Don't try to go to the other side. Pull it down, run, take what you can get. Don't get yourself hurt.
Cam
Because
Edwards
that's
has his own influencer website where he's selling T-shirts with the UConn logo on. It's not a UConn logo. It's a CE, but it's like looks like a UConn logo.
yeah, he's smart. He knows how to work around it.
Interesting.
Maybe that's what we need to do. We need.
I don't think these things make them any money.
We'll produce Husky Huddle T-shirts. We'll go to the games and
Give them away. They ain't buying them yet.
I'll bootleg Husky Huddle T-shirts for everyone.
Yeah, I think people will want them if you give them away.
Of course they will. Well, there'll be a sea of Husky Huddle T-shirts in the crowd, and UConn will be wondering what in the hell is going on here.
Yeah.
But I mean, God, they have a lot. 1, 2, 3. I mean, they have 5 quarterbacks. I mean, I guess that's normal for college.
Right.
A lot of freshmen. They got a kid from Westport who went to Staples. I love Staples. I love Staples because of Sean Mulcahy. Sean, I love you. He's one of my guys. And I mean, it's good to see that they're at least putting effort into bringing in a good quarterback. Evers being a redshirt sophomore is huge because you could get 3 good years out of him. Joe Fagnano, he's a senior. He hasn't played much.
The other guys competing, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really they're riding Cam Edwards. They're riding Cam Edwards in the running game, I think, to success. I think
that's going to be a big part of it. I think also, I wonder
in the play action.
Yep. So I think that that's the thing that you're going to have to see more and more. I'd like to see, I love. Where can I get clips of anything? Can I get clips of the scrimmage? Anybody catching the ball, or they don't release these things because they don't want anybody seeing? How come I see all stuff?
They should. Yeah, it should be on their Twitter. They should have some.
Let's see. I wonder if
some of the big plays. I would be curious to see.
Barstool UConn is active.
Oh, that's good. I didn't even know we had a Barstool. That's good.
We do. Yeah. They have let's see what they have. Fireball Whiskey, best college round of 64. What's Fireball Whiskey?
Fireball.
It's Kentucky. Okay.
You've had Fireball before. It's just happens to be whiskey.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah, Fireball. Oh, yeah, Fireballs. Okay. Look at that. So they have I was voting for your best college town. That's what they've. I am curious what the I can't find anything. I'm trying to find some football stuff
Yeah, I know. The only source for UConn is their website. I mean, that's where you get, and it's not much. I mean, it's funny because my senior year in 2003, we would get an article a day,
right?
And unfortunately, they don't get that kind of coverage. I know it says the other guy, Joe Fagnano, is named to 2024 Comeback Player of the Year Award watch list. So he's on the watch list for the comeback player of the year. I don't know his story. I know he's from Pennsylvania. I didn't know if you were familiar with him. I'm just checking him out to see. Oh, he was a transfer. He was from Maine. Oh, okay. So he played all through Maine, and then he transferred to UConn for his grad season. He would have 2 years of eligibility. He was the starter last year. He started the first 2 games before getting injured. 18 of 35, 173 yards passing, and an interception before being injured at Georgia State. In the season opener against NC State, he was 14 of 26 for 113 yards. Okay. We wish Joe the best of luck as he comes back from his injury. I hope we get
I'll share you.
more production out of the quarterback position.
I'll share with you a little something. We got Dalton Hilliard. They mic'd up Dalton.
I like him.
I
Yeah.
want to see energy. I want to see juice. I want to see Ray Lewis, Brian Dawkins type energy today. Do quarterbacks have that kind of energy? I don't know. Some do, some don't. Isn't that the quote? Something like that, Nick. Nick, just don't throw us the ball. He is pretty good, though. I'm not going to lie. If you want to be great, you want to be a really good team, you need all 3 phases. Let's get after it today.
All day. All day. All day. All day. All day.
Everything with a purpose today, man. Everything with a purpose. I'm always in all black. You know why? Because we move in silence. You got to want to go fast. Great eyes. Great discipline. Stop playing with that, man. Stop playing with that, man. Okay, Hudson. Get on it. Go, Lee, go. Ooh.
I hated those donuts.
You did?
I thought they were so stupid.
Yo, don't need pads. I'm from the wild. I'm wild, man. This is the GOAT. If y'all didn't know, this is the GOAT. This is the GOAT.
2 goats standing next to each other. How about that?
One's a real one and one's not real. Which one is it? Time to compete. Now we ain't friends. Now we're not friends, Kashif. Get away, bro. Get on your sideline, dog. Mine.
Kashif's
Drive.
awesome.
Oh, you're there. Pick it up. Oh, my God. Good, Malcolm. Yes. Hey, see, hey, corners, you see that? That's why you squeeze. Hey, good job. All you can do is close on that. There ain't nothing else you can do. Better. Nice job, Damon. Nope, that's not a finish. I don't accept that finish. I don't accept that finish. Hey, try to get your pad stick to it. You know what I'm saying on that? Pick it off. Go score. Come on. Let's get loose.
Oh, they do.
Get back and do it again. Go back and do it again.
Wow.
Dang it. Pick it off. Oh, get back. Hey, Lee. Hey, go do it again. Playing some juice today. Let's see if we can finish.
So does that tell them like what drill they go to?
Juice.
I think it helps them. Yeah, communicate.
We got 2 minutes coming up.
Where they're going.
We got 2 minutes coming up. Deep ball is freaking coming. They're going to take shots here. Make sure we're deep as the deepest. Hey, remind everybody they need a touchdown, right? They need a touchdown. Oh, Malcolm. What are we doing? Malcolm, what are we carrying for? Reroute? I hate excuses. Get the freaking call. Smart. Got him. Fourth and long. Fourth and super long. Get Chris down there. Pick it up.
That's I see a lot of problems on that.
I didn't want to say anything, but first of all,
I don't want to say anything.
Isn't it a little early to do 2 minute?
Oh, I don't
drill?
know. They how long have they been back? I mean, I don't know.
They just started. I'm pretty sure they just started.
It's probably part of every other practice anyway. I mean,
No, it's not. Not in the preseason.
yeah, I don't know.
Like we didn't do. I don't think we did 2 minute until. Okay, training camp was underway. All right, you're right. You're right. Saturday, August, or no. Oh, let me just read this. I'm just curious to see when training camp started. It says right here because 2 minute is something like we wouldn't do until usually the first scrimmage date. God, it doesn't even say the date. It just says Wednesday afternoon. So it must have been last Wednesday
Okay.
they started training camp. Yeah, August 12th. So yeah, last Wednesday would make sense. That just seems early for me to start 2 minute. They're having a inside the huddle event. They had an inside the huddle event Saturday, August 10th at the Rent, which was opened to the public and was featuring tailgating opportunities and a meet the coaches panel. Only exclusive to season ticket holders.
Mm.
I would have loved to have been a part of that. Tuesday afternoon, they took their team picture. And yeah, wow. So let me just ask you this, because I know that you were a head coach for many years. When you are in 2 minute defensively,
Mhm.
typically how many coverages do you go in playing
In 2 minute,
in 2 minute? If you're a DC,
you probably have a prevent. You probably depending on what the situation is. You
like
can
a deep cover 4, right?
yeah, or you could have a prevent and get in long yards. You get a cover 4.
Okay.
Depending
You don't
whatever they play situation. I mean, you might have three or four. You might have a man. I don't know.
you play a
Depending.
little man, yep.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, do you play cover 2 in 2 minute usually?
would you play cover 2? It might open. It might
You
open
get yeah,
floodgates for a
the
fade.
seam
Yeah,
or
yeah,
right.
fades. Yeah,
Yeah,
where you could
okay.
really.
'Cause
Um,
it kind of looked. I mean, I
I
couldn't see
saw.
it
Yeah, down
great.
there. It looked like he was yelling at him about something with respect to the flat.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why it looked to me like they were
and he
playing a
got and
little
he got
cover
beat the next
2.
and then he got beat the next play where he was in the flat. But
Yeah,
so I don't know. I I did think it was interesting on how he was addressing him when the player was talking back, which I would have, but that's a whole different world that's kind of different now. Uh,
that's a no-no.
I know.
There was no talking back to any coach. It's yes sir, no sir. Um, if you're gonna make an argument, you would make it in the meeting. You would make it out on the field.
Yeah.
Did
Yep.
you see who was primarily throwing? Could you? I
Nah,
couldn't see the quarterback.
that's I really couldn't. I wasn't. Let's say I really
I was just trying to see who was throwing for them. I couldn't
they
really
didn't
tell.
highlight it because
I know they were showing the defense, but
Coach Dalton was doing most of the.
I mean that's what they need. I mean he's brings a lot of energy and he's got his guys going.
Number
He's
3.
he's coaching them up. I give him credit.
Well,
Num
13 must be the 6'6". So number 3 is Evers. So
yes.
that's who's throwing in. Yeah, that's who's throwing here. Evers.
Okay. Oh, good.
13 is throwing in one. He throws a pick.
Well,
So
that's fine. Get it out of the way now.
yeah. This is the time. Let's
You
see
can get it
what.
out of
Yeah,
the way now.
it's 3 and 13.
God, they got 3 number 10s.
It's interesting because
Tucker McDonald. Wow. I can't get over this. Cole Welliver. They have so many.
So let's see. How often does UConn? They post Taraz. This is a regular General Husky site. Obviously, Tarazi got and Stewie got a.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I put that in my little PowerPoint presentation. But
Did you have Stewie on Husky Talk? Yep.
no. Maria's gonna get her when they get back. Hopefully, either when they get back or when the season ends.
Mm,
Maria's getting Jess Moore to come on.
okay.
We got Jess Moore. We had Ashley Battle, which was good. And then I'm trying to get her. She's going to try to get Asia Jones. Just girls from her era. I want to get Paige, obviously, but Maria said Paige basically charges $75,000 for an interview. So that's a little out of our budget.
That's it. Even though she still goes to UConn, huh?
Yeah, she's got one more year.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's good.
She's the one who tore her ACL twice.
Yep.
She's the best. She was the best player in the country. But I mean, you were looking at that. What did you think of their receivers? Did you see the receivers getting separation? Did you see them getting off the jam? Did you see any of
I
that?
didn't see a whole lot. So I mean,
Yeah.
the highlights like that. I'm looking at other clips where guys are making plays.
Okay.
So it's they post like something each day, sometimes 2 a day.
Yeah. I mean, that's I give them credit for I give them credit because they at least have added content creators to the support staff. They have director of creative content for football, and they have a creative content assistant. But just in my opinion, I don't think that's enough, right? I mean, the bigger schools have, like, I coached 2 years ago. I coached Division III football at Utica College,
Okay.
now Utica University. Utica University had probably 6 guys with handheld cameras,
Okay.
video cameras, just to video things, and would make, obviously highlight clips, post them on social media, post them when the guys went to meetings to watch film. So it just, if you don't have enough content that's going to be engaging and going to get people to watch your product, that's going to build your fan base, because that's exciting. They want to see that. They want to see the excitement. They want to see your freshman quarterback making plays. They want to see your offense scoring in the 2-minute drill. So I really, unfortunately, the days of social media, you have to be so proactive in your content, as you know. I mean, you post content every day.
Yep.
You post shorts every day. You know the importance of your brand and representing your brand, and the amount of work that goes into it. And you don't have 10 assistants. I mean, it's you do it yourself.
Right.
But it's because you know that.
I wonder if any of the
watch.
I wonder if they allow, I don't really know. Do they allow the coaches to do any kind of their own personal content outside of what
I would.
the general, I call it the general corporate UConn content type thing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think in the long run, like programs that have to grow are gonna have to leverage that. I don't,
Yes.
like Paige Beckers does it, right?
Yeah, on TikTok all the time.
She's been doing it. She's just been doing it. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah, she does it on her own. She does
But
it on her own.
and Gino's not gonna. There's no point in Gino doing it, or But there has to be a kind of more of a plan from that standpoint, and that's a different type of marketing. So
You're
it
right.
it is not like, oh, here's the highlight tapes. Okay, great. Like those look great. They look absolutely good. They get a certain amount of viewership, but
No, but like what you said with the shorts, like they need shorts.
yeah,
Shorts are what get the views, right?
yeah, like what right. Shorts is essentially one big play. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So like
Two aren't enough. Like you should have 10.
now I wonder if I search for UConn football. Let's see. Okay, so you got something from the current. There's an article of the full. This is what I typed in UConn football, and I'll tell you what comes up. You ready?
I don't
All
I
right,
don't
here we go. This
I
this
don't
is
know
not
if I'm ready.
shorts. This is just regular.
I don't okay.
All right, the first one is UConn football returns to Retro Field. That's one day ago. Okay, I guess because they had their scrimmage there, right?
Yep.
Little. That's WFSB Channel 3. I think that's CBS, right? And then
Yes.
and then the second article, the second video is the fall of UConn football. What happened?
Oh, was that from the current?
No, that's from some random YouTuber. And then
Oh
it's
God.
2023 football highlights for UConn. Then obviously the fourth one is the Juice with DB coach Dalton Hilliard. Okay, let's see how many views we got. Let's see how we're doing there. So Dalton Hilliard, it has the UConn Husky page has 33,000 subscribers, not UConn football, but UConn Huskies.
Which
And
is
and I have the
still
numbers here. I have the numbers here because I have this. So it's Dalton Hill, the video on Dalton Hilliard, which probably had about 10,000 views on Twitter. On YouTube has 540 views.
okay.
All right, so now let's see if they got anything from a shorts. Let's see if UConn Huskies put out any shorts because I'm curious if they do.
So
And
you
this
said
has
the
been going.
UConn Huskies Twitter page has 33,000 followers.
No. UConn Husky YouTube page, 33,000 followers.
Jesus.
So shorts, they don't show the dates on the shorts, so I don't know when these were posted.
Right.
But the latest one was something about the Olympics, then a baseball one, then another
Yeah, they
baseball
were in the
one.
Final Four. Yep.
So those have to be old, right? Okay, so
That
that
was
means
that was July.
so you're right. So
Early July.
these are old, man.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been any. There's not a lot of shorts that are done here. That has to improve. That's the UConn Huskies general say. Is there a UConn football YouTube page? I don't know. I don't think there is.
There isn't.
There isn't. Okay. And so it's interesting. And then you have the news posting things, and obviously regular people.
Well,
It-
at least now we know where we definitely can add some value. You know, we can post we can edit this and add a few plays at the end of every show, just to highlight what's going on. We can add an interview with a coach. I mean, they need content.
I like this facilities tour. This was a year ago.
Oh, the facilities is amazing. They redid everything. It's amazing.
I gotta
But
see this. I haven't seen this. Have you seen this?
yes.
Oh,
Yes. But
yeah.
it's the theory: if a tree falls in the woods and no one hears it, does it really fall?
Well, that had 11,000 views. The facilities tour. So that's the thing. Like from a content standpoint, we got to figure out how to double down on stuff, right?
But
So
that's a year old though. 11,000 views in a year isn't,
They're going
spectacular.
I want to see if they had the hold on. If they have the UConn where they give out all the awards. I used to be on that wall there. I don't know if I'm there anymore. But
Oh,
Ooh.
you the at the
I won
banquet.
the Kendall Madison Award.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Used to be on the
You're
wall.
there.
Yeah, but they spelled my name with 2 N's, I think. Believe it or not. Last time I was there, that's how it was spelled. 2 N's.
Oh, we'll get that fixed for you.
Yeah,
We'll
that'd
make,
be
we'll
nice.
make,
That would be nice. You know,
Hey,
not hard to figure it out if I had 1 or 2 N's in my name. You know.
hey, I played professionally and I wasn't listed, so in the Shankman building, so
yeah.
that irritated me.
They didn't have you on there, and you had played in the league.
Well, if you played professionally, like I played in NFL Europe, they had Sean Mulcahy who played in NFL Europe. I played there. They had Karan Henry who played in the Arena League. I played in the Arena League. I played in Canada. They had Terry Cully listed. I wasn't listed, so that infuriated me. But
all right, you ready? Here's some stats. This has nothing to do
I
with
don't.
football. We've moved on, and then we'll hop off. But all right, here's some stats. UConn Husky YouTube page.
Oh, we do have one. Okay.
We have
Or
UConn
UConn Huskies. Okay.
Yeah, just UConn Husky in general. I'll subscribe here. All right, here we go. Subscribe. All right. Overall lifetime 11.8 million views. Okay.
Okay.
And
Good.
it's all right. 3,300 videos they've done. Let's see. The last 30 days, they've done 7 videos in 30 days.
God.
81,000 views. Okay, so each video is getting
Divided by 7, they're getting 10,000
right.
views.
So what if they were doing 2 videos a day? What would they be
Yeah,
getting?
they got they got to produce more content. That's
So let's compare this to the good old at Coach Schuman.
Oh God.
Nobody knows who he is channel. So let's look at that.
Well, even me. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. So let's compare. Can we compare the stats here? Okay. So over the last 30 days, UConn did 81,000 views. I did 64.2 million.
I'm not. I have nothing. I have nothing to say. I have not.
Get on board.
I have nothing to
Open
say.
up your wallets.
That's
Let's get this thing popping.
Well,
let's get UConn rolling, baby. Let's get them going.
Then that's what we're gonna do. Then that's now I can put my PowerPoint presentation together. I can list the views, and I'm going to list the second article that came up when we searched UConn football. That's going to be hilarious. So I at least know where I'm going.
You show this stat alone.
Yeah.
And which I will Gmail this to you. This is just to give you an idea. I'll Gmail this to you just so you can see it as a little image. I'll send it to you. And you could say, I don't know, but I think we could help.
Yeah.
And it's you know what it is? It's I it's one of these things. It's like it's not necessarily an expertise. It's like if someone's cracked the code, right? Crack the code that does something well, just like we talked about one of the alumni who's cracked the code in business, right? So wildly successful athlete that now does very well. You got to leverage where people have cracked the code, right? So you want to crack the code, you want to leverage that to build your brand, and building your brand requires diligence, consistency.
It takes time. Yeah.
Diligence, consistency, okay, willingness to fail, and experimentation. So,
exactly.
So if you do that, and then obviously you figure out tried and true principles from that along the way, and you start to nail it. And I think that's. But the bottom line is, and I always, and I'm not the hugest fan of him, but I think this is one thing he definitely has right. is I don't know if you know who Gary V is, but Gary V is like a big social media guy, like
Yeah.
made a lot of money from it. And he always talks about you've got to post, period, end of story.
You
You've
do.
got to and that's a big deal. Now on Twitter, I think they're getting some level, like you're posting one a day, you're getting some traction. That's good. Then on Instagram, I'm sure they're posting a little more than that. You can do more imaging on there, and that probably attracts the younger group of people. But you
But
want
using your platform, if
you want
if if
yeah.
if we work with them and we have your platform, which is tried and true, it's not guesswork. It's proven that people watch it. They will get so many more views and they will gain interest nationally. And
Yeah,
that's the value. That's the value that this adds. And my Husky Talk is
absolutely.
is at 160,000 listeners per episode.
You
And
know,
it's only been around for a few months. So that combination right there, I think, you're getting alums, and then you're getting alums now that can watch the current product
and are you
and get
able to show them
analysis.
those exact stats too?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the key, is to show stats, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I have the exact, I have everything. I have the demos. Yeah.
because the
Uh,
greatest thing about all this kind of stuff, and from a what viewership standpoint and how to leverage it for your business and your brand, is that you could show the numbers. What I'm saying, you could show numbers and says, um, here's where we are, here's where they are, here's what we do, here's what they've done, and you could show it. And it's one of those things, is do you want to be able to leverage that, or do you need to have so the brand is simply this. Brand is like the phone. Okay, you have your phone. The iPhone is a brand, right? But the iPhone doesn't operate without apps, without services, without products pushing you to utilize that iPhone. If the iPhone, if for example, if Apple said the only apps that we're going to have in our store are apps we make,
yeah.
well, they'd be really hamstrung, right? But
Yeah.
they say, you make as many apps as you can, put it in the app store. We don't, and then the winners we're going to push to the top, right? The ones that were doing great, push it to the top. Now we get more people buying iPhones because we got apps that we like. Same thing with the ability to pay with your iPhone. Same thing with the ability to. So that iPhone, okay, is a brand, but all the other stuff that serve that brand, okay, that leverage that brand and that promote the iPhone because they have things around that brand or talking about it, that only serves to help iPhone, right? So those are so you have to everything's an ecosystem.
Right.
Everything's an ecosystem. So like I could have a Dave Schuman ecosystem, and everything that serves the Dave Schuman ecosystem is part of that ecosystem. And then you could have another brand that leverages the Dave Schuman ecosystem, even though they may not actually serve the Dave Schuman ecosystem, right? So there's different things, and they could cross over, and then they could, and that's how the ecosystems work. If you think about it like different universes and different or even better than that, if you think about it like an area, right, where you have an ocean and you have like a forest and you have a beach and you have food places. Those all serve an ecosystem within that community, right? And some ecosystems
Exactly.
have more things in their community, and some have less, and some have different features, and some have more features, some have less features. And so, that's why someone would go to New York City versus going to Atlanta, Georgia, would be two different reasons and two different things that serve it. And they might have overlapping things, but they also have their own things, right? So that's how it all works. And the the more you figure those things out and you leverage those things, the more your brand can grow, and then the more your brand can grow, it can serve more people, and more people want to be involved in it. And that's how eventually we'll get the alumni to that system. But that's how it works, and that requires a different types of thinking versus um, it's not a there's direct and indirect, right? It may directly impact the recruit. It may indirectly impact the recruit, right? Directly, it may be, okay, this player sees something that we're doing at UConn and says, I want to be a part of that. It may indirectly impact him because someone may see it who is not the player and say, hey, you're a really good player. You might want to take a look at this place here because I went here and this is what I saw them doing, right? And so that indirectly impacts the player. And then you start to have more and more of that, and you get, obviously winning becomes a large part of it, which basketball does great, obviously. And now more people want to be part of this system, not just because of the branding, but because the performance becomes a brand as well.
Exactly.
You could have instances of programs, like that that win in the short run because of only because of an individual, right? And then because they haven't built an ecosystem, they win. That individual leaves, that coach or that mega player or whatever, leaves, and you don't have that ecosystem anymore. So that's why you have to build all the surrounding things around it. So like some of the very best programs in the country do. And they do that. Like UConn basketball probably does that for the most part, right? So
Right. No, I agree with you. So that is what we'll do.
that is what we'll do. Well, listen, great viewership. I'm just looking on concurrent viewers.
Yeah.
Continue to go up over the course of this hour. So we're at around 250 concurrent viewers at all times, which is pretty darn good. My tip for you on your next StreamYard to try with Husky Talk on one of your episodes, try this.
Okay.
Instead of going landscape view, okay,
Yep.
go this view, vertical
Profile.
view. Try it once, see if it helps with your views or not. It may or may not, but see if it does, because I think what's interesting is YouTube is trying to serve that format out, and what's basically happened is there's a percentage of people that watch it in their living rooms, but the vast majority of people watch,
on their phone. Oh, I got you. Okay.
and a lot of them will listen to it, not watch it. So
Right.
when I work, I have my phone with me and I listen to people on YouTube or podcasts or whatever.
Spotify, yeah.
But when there's video with it, the video is on my phone because I'm working, because I'm using my computer, but
Right.
I'm listening to this, and then if there's something that's poignant, I'll pick it up, and they're in vertical form, so it's easier
It's
to get more.
difficult.
I think it's easier to get more viewers in
Okay.
vertical form. Try it out, see if it works. If it doesn't,
No,
then
I will.
I'm an idiot.
You're not an idiot.
Yeah. So we'll see if that works. But anyway, great
I'll do
podcast.
that for sure.
So football. Any of you listen to the last part of this? You got lucky. I just gave you the blueprint.
Yeah, you
So
just did. You gave us
I
the tip.
handed it out for free. I handed
We
it
did
out
it.
for free.
Well,
All
I
right.
appreciate it. I will definitely do that on the next one.
We'll hit you up next week, and we'll see. I think we have a guest on next week, and
Awesome. Yes,
so
we do. We have Phil. That's right.
Yep. So
Yeah,
should be able to go from there.
and hopefully we'll get you for Moneyline again too.
Yeah, I like money lines. Ton
You're
of
a
fun.
legend. You're a legend on Moneyline.
Oh, that's great. Well,
When you're
whatever
good, you're
works.
good.
Whatever works. All right. Till next time.
All right.